Hi, this is MDad, and the sports show is at Spotlight for the anti-racism campaign launch supported by the Mayor of London. Ron, talk us through your role as Head of Development.
Okay, cheers. Head of Development role in boxing, I'm afraid, has got nothing to do with all the elite champions that you see on the telly. It's very much about developing the grassroots of the sport. I manage a team of 9 officers, one in each region of England, and their job's really to keep the boxing clubs open and make sure we're driving the youngsters into the sport.
So even though it's got nothing to do with the elite boxers at the top, you're actually playing a huge role in the most vital area of boxing.
Absolutely, you know that you don't get an elite boxer, you don't get any elite sportsman unless you've got the grassroots properly sorted. So there's nearly 900 clubs affiliated to the national governing body, and if we can keep those strong, obviously the best boxers will rise to the top, and maybe your next Anthony Joshua will be somebody coming out of a lovely boxing club like Limehouse, where we are today.
And what role does boxing have to play in the development of young people?
Well, I'm a former physical education teacher, and I've been with England boxing now for 6 years, and I just think it's the most disciplined sport I've ever come across. Fantastic discipline, zero tolerance to misbehaviour. As a football fan myself, I think if football could get 5% of the discipline that you get in a boxing club, it would be a far better off sport. You know?
Hi Mark, thanks for joining us on the Sports Show. What's happening here today?
Well, today it's the launch of a campaign called KO Racism, which has been founded by myself and Shah Rahman at Limehouse Boxing Academy, which is here at the Spotlight Centre in Poplar, but it's also been backed by England Boxing. Basically, the campaign is about going into schools, educating young people on how our sport, boxing, is such a great multicultural sport. We think it's relevant to do it now because we've seen quite a bit of stuff on social media where we think it's a good time to remind everyone how multicultural our sport is, and also to try and maybe educate children from 11 to 17 on the misuse of social media and also this tendency to look into the extremes. So it's a way of kind of like saying to everyone, you know, our sport is all inclusive, and you know, it's an example of what can be possible when everyone gets together.
The whole reason for today is that boxing's got a very long and proud tradition of being a very multicultural sport. Most of the icons in boxing, from Ali and many, many more, from Muhammad Ali, have been black and Asian boxers. And we're proud of that tradition, and we just want to make sure that we're not complacent, that any sign of the slightest bit of racism has got no place in the sport of boxing. So we quite often say that if you ask a boxing coach, you know, how many black or Asian boxers have you got in your gym, they couldn't tell you. They could tell you the weight of everybody in the gym because they have to know that. So we just want to make sure that the sport of boxing and amateur boxing remains very inclusive to everybody from any community and from whatever background.
Today it's the first day of a project that Shah Rahman and Mark Collings have started called KO Racism. It's a really good initiative, and they've asked if I'd get involved, so I've popped down to help out.
You've had a wonderful career in boxing. What would you say is your proudest moment?
I don't know, there's quite a few to mention though, but probably winning an ABA title on the same night as my twin brother was quite good because it went down in the history books as the first twins to ever do that. So that was a nice feeling and achievement.
Charlie, how's it feel like being here today?
It's great. I never knew this really happened until I found out by them boys inside. They told me what was going on, and I think it's fantastic.
As a champion, you would be well placed to run the ruling over what's happening here today. Is it important to educate young people?
I think it's very important, really. If you've got the knowledge and you've got the know-how and you know what you're doing with these boys, it's great to pass it on.
And is boxing a good medium to keep these youngsters out of trouble?
Well, boxing done me a right favour, really. When I was younger, I was small. I was getting, not picked on, but I mean, like, sort of thing like that. When I went to boxing, it got me out of that sort of thing, and it made me more confident with people.
Racism, is it a big problem in society? Do you think it's a big problem in society? You faced it obviously when you were a youngster and a young man. Do you think it's still a big problem in society, and what do we need to do?
Well, I think really they should all wear a will now. I've been watching this today here with you lot here today. They've all mixed in together and they're all friendly, and it's nice. It's a nice atmosphere. That's how it's got to be. We've got to try and, if we're leading these people, we've got to try and show them that racism, whatever is the case, ain't on. It's not allowed. We don't want it, do we? You know, it's nice. They've all they're all looking like they're all friendly, which is good. That's what we want in this community. You know what I mean?
I'm sort of living and breathing it through another aspect of the sport now. Obviously, it's the nearest and closest thing that can come to competing is in coaching, and you know I've lived and breathed it, and I can pass that knowledge onto the boxer. I know how they feel, I know what they're going through, and if I can pass on my experience and my expertise, then that's a bonus.
And if you were talking, there's a lot of young people who watch our interviews and the sports show in general. What's the best piece of advice you can offer them?
Enjoy it. You know, first thing I told when I started boxing was as long as you enjoy it, it's the main thing, and the day to quit is when you stop enjoying it. And you know that's what I did. I got to 28 and I stopped enjoying it, and I called it a day.
Shah, is racism a big problem in society?
From what we've seen more recently, it's a massive issue, which you know we're trying to tackle using boxing, because boxing is a very multicultural sport, and our club is very multicultural. So we're trying to promote that, and we're going to be rolling out an educational program that educates people about other cultures, faiths, and so on. So you know they don't hold the views some people might currently do and get influenced by the media and so on. So we're trying to put a positive message out there using our sport, which is boxing, and hopefully you know, we can take it to as many people as we possibly can.
And how important is, you've touched on it there, using boxing as a medium to inspire people, to educate them, to teach them, and to raise their aspirations?
I think not just boxing, anything that engages people, which boxing engages a lot of people. I think using that as a medium of portraying the message is important, especially for us, you know, coaches. We have a responsibility to educate people about other things, not just boxing. It's about being a good human being and being a good citizen, and that's what we're trying to do.
Shah, you've been volunteering in your boxing role for a very, very long time. Do you still get the same buzz when you wake up in the morning?
Most definitely, because no 2 days are the same, and you know every day is different. Every day you meet different people, and you have different experiences. So it's still the same, even more so. I love it more and more.
And looking at what's, you know, we've been following what's been happening here today. It's been fantastic just watching the young people getting involved all around us, and the way the coaches and the way they've been responding to their coaches as well. In my hearts of hearts, I can see this actually taking off as a scheme and going national. Would you agree with me?
Definitely, that is the plan. We want to take it national, start working locally at first, and then keep growing the team and growing the campaign wider and wider.
And why should somebody take up boxing as a sport?
Boxing builds a lot of discipline in people, and as I mentioned before, you get to meet lots of different people, travel lots of places, and learn about lots of different things. So you know, I'd encourage everyone to at least participate. They don't have to compete, but take part and you know, see if you enjoy it.
And lastly, Mark, do you still get the same buzz training these young kids?
More so than ever, because every kid is different. So you never lose that sense of, like, you know, adventure, because every group we ever have is always different characters, always different challenges, and always different sort of, you know, fantastic situations that you end up in. So it's always a massive privilege to be working with these young people.
Boxing is a wonderful sport, and it helps shape communities. It's been great being here today with Shah and Mark to watch these youngsters, you know, come to fruition and develop themselves and enjoy themselves here today as part of the KO Racism initiative supported by the Mayor of London. We wish Limehouse Boxing Academy the best of luck going forward. Thanks for watching the Sports Show.